Though just a boy, his name would echo through the ages. Behold lethal military formation. He stood alone against an entire army. Here, in the heart of the royal palace, young Abhimanyu masters the art of war and ancient diplomacy. Young Abhimanyu was trained by the greatest. He mastered the art of the deadly grid, a warrior born for ultimate glory. Thousands of warriors stand arrayed on this field, bound by loyalty and the grim certainty of the coming dawn. Here, on this ground, the fate of empires will be decided. Young Abhimanyu was trained in the deadliest arts. He was taught to fight and to survive. You must strike with your mind, not with your sword. At just 16, he faced the deadliest formation alone. Bound by honor, destined for glory. On this field, two great empires clash. Thousands of men stand ready for command.
On the 13th day of the Kurukshetra War, the Kaurava army deployed their most complex military asset, a massive, labyrinthine troop formation known as the Chakravyuha. The formation operated like a grinding wheel of shifting concentric circles. Invaders would be swallowed up and crushed. The Pandavas faced a critical vulnerability. Only Arjuna knew the sequence to break it. The Kauravas deliberately lured him away, leaving the main army exposed. With their primary asset gone, the Pandavas turned to their only remaining option, Arjuna's 16-year-old son, Abhimanyu. The survival of the entire alliance now rested on a teenager. He would have to execute the ancient world's most complex military infiltration, or watch his family's army be annihilated. Traditional texts reveal that Abhimanyu was actually the earthly incarnation of Varchas, the son of the lunar deity Soma. His birth was governed by a cosmic contract. Soma allowed him to stay on Earth for exactly 16 years to help destroy evil men. Because of his divine nature, Abhimanyu received an impossible education. While still in his mother Subhadra's womb, he listened as his father Arjuna described the tactical secret to entering the Chakravyuha. He memorized the entry sequence perfectly, but his mother fell asleep before Arjuna could explain the exit strategy. He was armed with the knowledge of how to enter, but no plan for how to leave. By accepting the mission on the 13th day, Abhimanyu knowingly stepped into the final hours of a preordained sacrifice. Commander Yudhishthira's strategy was simple. Abhimanyu would act as the spearhead to breach the wall, and the rest of the Pandava army would immediately flood in behind him to dismantle the formation from the inside. The boy's skill is devastating. Abhimanyu tears through the formidable outer defenses, creating a critical breach. But the strategy collapses when the enemy warrior Jayadratha maneuvers to the gap. He blocks the entrance, stopping the Pandava reinforcements and locking them outside. The trap instantly snapped shut, the wall reformed, and the prince found himself isolated deep inside enemy lines, surrounded by millions of hostile soldiers. Stone relief carvings show the brutal reality of this combat. He was trapped in a crossfire of arrows and heavy chariots with no physical backup. Abhimanyu achieved his tactical objective, yet penetrating the unbreakable wall was the maneuver that doomed him. Despite being alone, the prince unleashed a lethal assault. He defeated legendary icons like Duryodhana and Drona in single combat, causing a mounting panic among the Kaurava leadership. These warriors were bound by Kshatriya Dharma, a code requiring fair one-on-one combat. But watching their army fall to a teenager, the leader Shakuni decided to abandon those rules. 7 Maharathis, the most celebrated veteran commanders on the field, coordinated a simultaneous mob attack on the lone boy. They dismantled his ability to fight piece by piece. They slaughtered his horses, shattered his bow, and forced him on foot. In his final moments, Abhimanyu fought with a broken chariot wheel as his only shield, until a fatal blow to the head ended his life. To defeat a single 16-year-old, the most famous heroes of the age had to fight as cowards. By murdering Abhimanyu dishonorably, the Kauravas destroyed their own moral standing. This event gave the Pandavas the justification they needed to use equally ruthless tactics to eventually win the war. The story eventually traveled to Indonesia, where it became a cornerstone of Javanese wayang shadow puppetry. In this tradition, Abhimanyu is given a specific visual design. He is depicted covered in so many enemy weapons that he resembles a hedgehog, a literal representation of the mob attack. Javanese folklore adds a new layer to the tragedy by framing his death as cosmic karma. The story claims he once made a false oath to his wife, Devi Utari, about his marital status, inviting a death by 1,000 blades as punishment for his perjury. This Javanese retelling adds a layer of cause and effect to the story, transforming a battlefield betrayal into a moral lesson on the weight of an oath. Despite his early death, Abhimanyu successfully preserved his family's line. His posthumous son, Parishit, survived to inherit the throne and save the Kuru lineage from extinction. Today, large bronze sculptures like this one ground the epic's history in the physical landscape of modern India. His name remains tied to the concept of fearless infiltration. The Indian Navy's elite Marine commandos named their permanent base INS Abhimanyu in honor of his strike deep into enemy territory. His final stand has been reenacted for a century in everything from black and white early cinema to high-budget modern television series. Abhimanyu walked into an inescapable trap, knowing his training was incomplete and the odds were impossible. He didn't survive the 13th day, but his name survived as the standard for duty in the face of certain death.